We're coming to you live from a large produce farm where ICE agents are currently conducting a major raid, apprehending undocumented workers.
These farm owner dudes, they're saying, well, we thought the blacks would come back and do the jobs because they don't have jobs. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but black people have jobs, and you thought you were getting your slaves back is basically what you were saying. Like, that's what you thought.
Trump said that, you know, the immigrants was taking the jobs from black folks. The farmers thought that the black people would come and work for them even cheaper. So what I'm trying to say, the farmers thought that they were going to have black slaves coming back. So that's why they didn't mind voting for Trump. Mass deportation.
You mean to tell me the farms in Texas are closing? Because they voted for their own staffs to be deported? Oh, isn't it sad to find out? Isn't it sad to find out that your hate is expensive?
Welcome back to Team Tessie Reaction. Kindly for watching me for the first time, make sure you subscribe, like, share and comment. Texas farmers and white MAGA farmers are going bankrupt. Because of what? They voted for a yellow man. They voted for deportation. And for this video, all the credit goes to the creator of this video, the TikTokers. All the credit goes to them. So kindly guys, let's watch this video until the end, and then I'll come back with more reaction.
Find out stage. Guess what just hit 0 before Donald Trump's approval rating? Right there. Farm labor attendance, 0. Entire fields, whole crews are ghosting fields, leaving fruits and vegetables to rot because the Donald Trump administration is too busy playing cat and mouse with people who just want to feed America. To the MAGA people who are saying that immigrants are taking your job, this right here is your opportunity. Pick yourselves up by the bootstraps, get those buckets, and pick those strawberries. No more hiding behind those welfare checks that are padded behind blue state dollars. You wanted the raids, you got them. Now get in those fields and pick those fruits and vegetables before you watch the produce aisle turn to a luxury boutique section. Chop chop, MAGA. And that's it.
So I just saw this video of this white man who's not MAGA, by the way, or at least he says he's not, but because he damn sure selling the look. But he says he has a fake account over on Twitter, and he joined this group of white farmers, and he's pretending to be MAGA just to see what they're talking about. So apparently they had this group chat or group call where the white MAGA farmers were upset and saying the only reason why they voted for shitty britches was because they thought the blacks didn't have jobs and the blacks would come back and work their fields. They thought they were going to get slavery back by voting for shitty britches. But they had been saying loud and proud with their chest that immigrants were taking their jobs. Yet, there are a couple of farms here in Texas that overnight lost 100% of their workforce. But immigrants was taking their jobs, right? Racism is expensive, huh?
Didn't I tell y'all that's what they thought? They thought black people were going to go get them jobs in the field. Since the migrants are gone, we ain't got no jobs, so we going to go back in the field and pick. That's what they thought. Oops. We worked for free in this country for 290 years. We ain't picking nothing for y'all. Y'all better get y'all white folks out there and go pick them fruits and them vegetables and take care of them cattle and the chickens. We not going out there. But I made a video. I can't find the shit, damn it. But I made a video when this all started, and I said they think black people are going to go back and work in the fields. That's why Donald Trump said they are taking black jobs. They think that's what we're supposed to go do. And they're finding out real quick, black people ain't coming. Y'all can hold your breath on that one. We ain't picking shit for y'all. We will grow our own vegetables and take care of our own selves. We not going to them fields. Y'all better figure out what y'all want to do about this immigration policy and these mass deportations, or white folks, get your ass out there and go pick your own goddamn food. But we ain't coming.
If there are any Midwestern white farmers on this app, I need y'all to confirm this shit. Did y'all really think black folks was gonna work in those fields after y'all got rid of all the immigrants? Y'all thought that we was gonna be working for y'all? Y'all on Twitter throwing it up, talking about Trump that took all the immigrants. We thought the black folks was gonna come work for us. I think the fuck not. I'm sorry, my ancestors didn't fight this fucking hard for me to get back in the sun, bitch. You got me fucked up. You better get all your little kids and get their asses some little sun hats and some visors and some sun cream and some suntan lotion and had them picking that goddamn vegetable. Y'all really wanted some indentured service, didn't y'all? That was not on my bingo card. Y'all really thought that shit? Y'all better go ask your daddy Trump to go get y'all people back. I said this shit during the election.
I was just reading. Green Valley, another meat supplier, U.S. meat supplier. Well, they had to shut down because of all the arrests ICE is doing. Oklahoma, Nebraska. They had to shut down. Meat suppliers upset. Farmers upset. And the farmers are all talking. They're all saying basically the same shit. Well, they thought black people wasn't working. And when Trump said that, you know, the immigrants was taking the jobs from black folks, the farmers thought that the black people would come and work for them even cheaper. So what I'm trying to say, the farmers thought that they were going to have black slaves coming back. So that's why they didn't mind voting for Trump. Mass deportation of the immigrants. Then the black people would come back, come to work because they're looking for jobs. That's what they thought. They thought they would come to work on their farm, basically for free. You know, black slaves. But then they realized and they saw, well, fuck, black people are working. Well, they ain't coming here to work on my farms. No, we're not. See, because you were lied to. Because Trump told you that black people was lazy and they was receiving welfare, is what they call it. They were receiving welfare. And y'all thought by cutting the welfare that the black people would have no other choice but to go work on them fucking farms for free. That's what y'all thought. Y'all was going to make black people work for that welfare check. And y'all was going to put them on the farms. But see, we black people kept telling y'all ass, it ain't us. It's the white folks that's benefiting from the welfare. They're getting the welfare. It's more of them getting welfare than it is black people. So y'all white folks, and I know not all white folks, but the majority of the white folks, y'all thought that it was mostly black people because that's what you hear on the news. But it's not. It's mostly white folks that's getting welfare. Not black people out there working. So now the farmers realizing, wait a minute. Where the fuck is all the black people that you promised me? Where are my slaves? Ain't no slaves here, baby. Ain't gonna be no slaves here. We ain't doing that shit. We ain't doing that shit. And I'm telling you, farmers right fucking now, the handful of black folks that's on welfare, I'm telling you right now, they'll give that fucking welfare check up because they ain't coming to work on your fucking farms. They ain't even gonna go out there and work in that hot ass sun. Acres and acres of land. You ain't gonna have no slaves with black folk. Those days are long gone.
So y'all remember when it was said that we taking all the black jobs? They really thought that we was going to be looking for black jobs, y'all. And I woke up this morning, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this guy made a video, and I saved it to my favorite, so you can go look for it. And he said he was pretending to be MAGA on one of those other apps. He said they were doing a live, and the farmers were saying that they thought that the black people would be looking for jobs to work on their farms. Now, you got to be kidding me. Do they think we really looking for farm work? Do they not know that we are educated and we got degrees? And being a farm worker ain't even in the jobs categories that we be looking for. They really don't know how educated some of us are. They don't know how many degrees a lot of us have. They got to be really lost if they think that we want to come and work on their farms. They don't know that our parents and our grandparents growing up wouldn't even let us be outside if it wasn't no shade outside. Do they really think that we gonna work on a farm where ain't no shade trees at? I hate to disappoint y'all, baby, but you gonna have to get somebody else to do it, because we ain't working on nobody's farm. Never. The only way you gonna see black people working on a farm is if they own the farm, because we not working on nobody's farm as no workers. So I hate to disappoint y'all. If y'all thought those was black jobs that black people looking for, honey, you better think again, because black folks that I know got good jobs. We've had a black president, we had a black vice president, we got black senators, we got black congressmen, we got black CEOs, we got black doctors, we got black nurses, we got black psychiatrists, we got a lot of good black jobs. Now, I don't know what y'all thought we was gonna be farm workers for. We don't even want to work in the fast food industry. Those jobs, we don't want those kind of jobs. So, I hate to disappoint you MAGA people, but we don't do farm work. So get somebody else to do it. I'll like, share, comment, and repost. Drop in the comments y'all education and y'all good black jobs, because they don't think we got good black jobs out here. So we need to let them see it.
The white farmers. So word is out now that the white farmers voted for Donald Trump because they thought they were going to get black Americans in the fields. Because they also thought black folks did not have jobs. So when we put this all together, somehow the white farmers were convinced that black folks don't have jobs. We don't work. we don't work. And so they voted for Donald Trump because they thought, okay, he gonna send them in the fields. So Donald Trump and them, with their whole Project 2025, said, okay, so we got to make this happen. So we got to cut these DEI stuff, all this DEI stuff, to put black Americans out of work. When in reality, they put a bunch of white folk out of work just to get black folks out of work. And so all these cuts that are happening are to try and harm black Americans so much till they think that we're going to go into the fields. Now, when you think about that, that makes you double back and see why they want the Latinos out. Because the Latinos, right, to them, they are reproducing entirely too fast, okay? And so they're like, we got to get them out of here because black Americans don't reproduce as fast as the Latinos. And so if we could get them out, then the black Americans can take their place in the field. This is for real. And so now you double back to the black jobs. They're taking your job. Yes, you got to double back to what he said. They're taking black jobs, y'all. Like, they have all this down. Like, they have all this whole circle. So now let's go back to the farmers, if you're still with me, okay? Because the white farmers, that's what they believed was going to happen. So if y'all got all that straight, this is the message to the white farmers. The last thing you want is for black Americans to be in your fields. Don't let the devil fool you. As a matter of fact, you might want to let the devil fool you to see what's going to happen. Well, I'm trying to tell you, the last thing you ever gonna want is black Americans in your fields. Nah, I'm gonna let you fill in the blank on that one. And this goes to show that they will go to any lengths. Remember I said that, first of all, we had the Latinos, some Latinos, not all of them, just them Cuban ones, talk about you're next, right? To black Americans. So they thought we was immigrants, okay? And so now we have the white farmers who are still living in the 1700s, thinking back to glory days, quote unquote. They thought with their vote, we were going to the fields. So you got one group thinking they gonna kick us out of here, and you got another group of people thinking that we going to the fields. Now this right here is a real mental problem, because people are literally stuck. I'm telling y'all, people are stuck in the 1700s when they think about black Americans, okay? I'm telling you, their thought process, they sit around probably campgrounds and picnics and stuff and talk about how can we make this happen? That was their heyday. I'm telling you, when that freaking plantation house burned down in Louisiana, I think, right? That was their heyday. Now, I'm trying to tell you, that was their heyday. When that plantation house down in Louisiana got torched, okay? I'm telling you, that broke them. But I just want to, I want to teach them a little bit more history if I have your attention, right? If I have your attention, right? This is some history that a lot of people don't know, okay? But y'all didn't know black Americans had white servants? Y'all ain't know that? I mean, it wasn't widespread or anything like that, but we had white servants. Yeah, and they wanted to be our servants because they needed work. They were coming over from Europe. Yeah, and they were docile too. Yeah, they were docile. And black Americans, the aristocrats, the wealthy ones, because they were wealthy ones, okay? They had white servants. So I don't know if y'all ever see them pictures. Let me find a picture. I couldn't find a picture. I wasn't gonna go back and try to find a picture, but if you can watch videos, you'll be able to find a picture of possibly some black people in the horse-drawn carriages, and there may be someone white as the horseman or the I'm not sure what you call them, coachman or whatever. Yeah, he worked for them. Yes, indeed. It was a big thing. It was a big thing, when everybody began to see in the early 1900s, what? Black Americans, they use the other word. Black Americans have white servants? Yeah, that's a bit of history they don't like to put on TV. And the reason for it is because they were like, okay, they had, white people here that they could hire. And they also had black people here that they could hire. But they felt that the white people from Europe were so docile. And they were less expensive. Now, they weren't the only ones who thought that. The wealthy white people thought that too. The wealthy white people were like, yeah, we like the docile immigrant white people. They're a lot cheaper. They take less money. Yeah, so there's a bit of history for you. Oh yeah, it was like that. Oh yeah, because they knew they would have to pay black Americans a lot more. So they always went for the immigrant. And see, when the black Americans hired the white immigrants, they were like really like, yes, we will do it, yes, we will do it, because they want to stay in America. Here's the difference though. Black Americans didn't mistreat them. They didn't mistreat them at all. But anyway, that's just a little side note. But yeah, to the white farmers again, this is the last thing you want. The last thing you want is for black Americans to be out in your fields. The last thing you want. Trust and believe. And next time, you know what? Stop basing your vote on how to harm black Americans, because you're going to end up running into that wall that's going to tumble. Okay? That's what's going to end up happening. Stop doing that. All of you do it. Like, all of you. You had the conservative Asian Americans coming through with the whole Ivy League school. We don't want black Americans there. Then you had the I will vote for Donald Trump Cubans, okay, who were thinking, okay, you're next, okay? Okay, we're not immigrants, so we're not next. And now we have the white farmer who thought that they were going to get the black Americans in the fields. And then this is all off of Project 2025. So now look where you got America. Look where you got the United States of America. And you know, a lot of people say, why black Americans think everything revolves around them? No, y'all think everything revolves around us because y'all make everything revolve around us. Y'all stuff coming out.
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
That man said he went up on the Twitters and he saw them the white farmers, saying that, oh, well, we thought the black folk were going to come back and do the job. He said that they said the blacks. But he said they were convinced that when they started deporting these non-black people of color, right, that we were going to be taking their places back in the fields. Essentially, they thought they were getting their slaves back, right? They thought slavery was going to come back full force. We were going to be like, oh, okay, let's get on back to them fields. Because they don't think black people have jobs. But it makes sense because remember when Trump said they're taking your black jobs? Y'all remember that? Yeah, what do y'all think he meant by that? He meant the people that are in the fields now, right? Which are the Hispanic community, the Latinos. He meant that they were taking our black jobs. See, because he thinks that black people's job is to be up in the field. Yeah, that's right. Right. That's exactly what he thinks. So it all makes sense now. They really thought, these farm owners really thought that black folk, they were going to deport the Hispanics, the Latino community, and that black people were going to go back to the field working for nothing. And they tell us to stop living in the past. Bro.
I just went down the rabbit hole of watching a couple dozen videos of farmers that are on the brink of bankruptcy, thanks to Donald Trump pulling the rug out from underneath them by not honoring promises made by the Biden administration, because God knows he can't honor some other president's decision. So that's where we're at. Most of these farmers that I'm seeing, it's like the level of regret for their vote is pretty extraordinary. I mean, they're basically saying they're off the Trump train. All right, good. I'm glad you learned your lesson. I'm sorry it's too late. But then there's also this like small contingency of farmers, it seems, that are almost giving him the benefit of the doubt, like it was some kind of an oopsie and that he's going to fix it. I mean, I don't know. At this point, it's not just about farmers. I think everybody's got to take a really good look at this and realize what's happening. This is on purpose. This is your government trying to hurt you. This is your government saying, I'm going to put you in a situation where you will very likely have to start selling off your equipment and potentially your farm. And if you're doing that, you know, guess who's going to scoop them up? It's not a question. It's these corporations that are headed up by his largest political donors. It's not that hard to follow the breadcrumbs here. So why do you think he's doing it? He's doing it because it's a favor to his political donors who want to buy your farm for pennies on the dollar. That's why it's happening. So just know that your government is actively trying to put you into dire straits so that you'll give up everything you have so that they can buy it cheap. So if you've got a 5th generation organic soybean farm, they want it. I'm quite sure Monsanto will buy it and pump the ground full of Roundup and no problem. And it's not just farmers. That's just who we're talking about today. It's going to be everybody. He has no problem cutting veteran benefits. He has no problem cutting health benefits, Medicaid, Medicare. They're going to go after Social Security. If there was ever a more clear indication that this government doesn't value you,
Since the election, everyone has reminded me that I thought Kamala Harris was going to win. Everyone has reminded me that she didn't win and Donald Trump won. I've seen it over and over and over again. But what I also said was if Donald Trump did win, it would be a disaster for farmers and oil workers. Because last time Donald Trump was president, it was a disaster for farmers and oil workers. Now, he really hasn't gotten to oil workers yet. But hey, farmers, how you doing? Yeah, you see, the last time Donald Trump was president, over 100,000 farms went belly up in America. So Here he runs for president again, and what do you farmers do? Yeah, you vote for him again. And I don't understand why, but it's one of those cases where you effed around, and now you're going to find out again. Because apparently he didn't do enough damage the first time. You wanted to see it a second time. So here we are.
Welcome back. Hope you have watched a very emotional and crying from the Texas MAGA workers and the Texas farmers. And this video credit goes to content creators who credit for this video. So kindly guys, Texas milk farmers are going bankrupt because of what? These people, they voted for Iowa. They voted for Iowa is a Donald Trump. They voted for Republican. They voted for deportation. They voted for racist man. They voted for discriminated man. And now they have started crying out. Those white farmers they have now started crying out because of the leadership of that yellow man. And we black people, we want them because we were the Democrats. We supported Democrats fully 100%. But these white people and Latinos and Arabs supported the Republicans because Donald Trump promised them the security, promised them to not deporting their own people. But now it has reached a time that the yellow man has started war against white farmers. They have now going bankrupt. Number one is about the losses, because most of the black people, they are the one who are in farms doing management of those farms, and those managers were just the black people. And now the farm has no anybody who can work in now, so that now there's nobody who can work in those farms, a lot of losses is really happening out. Another thing is about the labor, because if you have made a loss, you can't even manage to pay bills. And we all know that United States is so expensive. You cannot survive in United States with a $1. But here in Africa, you can survive with just $1. And people, Trump deported all the immigrants. We have seen recently over 5,000 Jamaicans were undocumented, issued with a removal from United States. So this shows us that how really Trump is fighting for, is really hating we as the black people, hating the black people. And people deported, and most of them were those who are doing on those farms. But now they have come, they have left their country. They are enjoying life in the Jamaicans, and that's in maybe in Africa, because we all know that Africa is the motherland of black people. And that's why now Texas farmers have come out and crying for help from the government of that yellow man. So deportation is just happening, and now it's now a hard time. We as Africans now, we organize ourselves and start deporting these West people, because you cannot deport us and then expect you to stay in our country. It can't match. We must start also deporting these people. And this is now the price of Texas farmers is now paying for those for allowing for voting for Donald Trump, because there is now regretting. We have seen across all over the online, people are being deported, Latinos are being deported, Indians are crying, people are crying because of the leadership of Donald Trump. Iran is crying. We have seen even Arabs, they have come out because Trump has imposed tariffs, which is tariff was a target for China. And also he supported what? He supported Iran. That is the price of people who voted for Donald Trump, because we black people, we knew this man is evil. That's why we didn't vote for him. We voted for Kamala Harris. But now it has come a time whites has now realized that we African who are the right for voting for Democrats. So as I finish, kindly guys, for our white people, let's unite it. Let's avoid racism. Respect the black color, because we were created in same image. The only difference between we and the black is was the skin color, but we were just created in same color. And let's avoid discrimination. Let's avoid nepotism. Let's just stay together, because when you joke with the black people, you will see they will just come for you. It's now the high price you are paying the price for voting for Donald Trump. So kindly guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe, like, share and comment. And if you have subscribed, turn on your notification so that to avoid missing update when I post. See you next.